Hey everyone, Stock Picks by Tim back at you here, and I actually want to explain the huge run-up we had on any stock, ticker A and Y. The Gryphon mining, there's speculation or there's an article, an opinion piece, you could say, about Elon Musk potentially joining the board on Gryphon mining, and that caused just like this huge run-up. But I'm going to get into it. I'm just going to kind of breeze through the article. I'm not going to read the whole thing, just bring up a couple points and, my reasoning for why I took profits right when I saw it hit 20%. But let's get into this baby. To go along with the title, Elon Musk will likely join Gryphon Digital Mining as board member after the merger with Sphere 3D stock in Q4 of 2021, evidence show. And now the evidence that they are basically trying to show, and what they basically end up doing is they try to connect the dots that since Gryphon is 100% carbon neutral, that Elon will take a leadership role. It's complete speculation. Okay, it had a huge run up, 20%. And basically, in my opinion, it was just on pure speculation. I did take my profits, and I also played a couple shorts, got out quick, took a little bit of profits on that. But I didn't want to get caught into a short position because it could always have tried to rally again after it came down from 20 down to like 13, 14%. But it still did have a positive rally. We're still up, it's a good thing. I do have a small portion left. I took a nice profit on most of my position though. And, I'm just being honest. When you see something small cap go up 20%, I mean, it's just nature that people are going to take profits on something like that, especially on speculative news. This isn't news that Elon joined, okay? And if that was the case, if Elon joined, it would have been like a 50 to 100% increase. It would have halted this thing. The thing would have just gone too crazy, too fast. But this is just speculation that he could join, and this is just an opinion piece. And if you even look right here, please note, blog posts are not selected, edited, or screened by editors. So they're not screened. There's just a blog post by Biotech Player 123. I could be wrong. They could really, really think that Elon's gonna join the board, and if he were to join one, potentially this could be one. But why would he join something? I mean, yeah, he likes Bitcoin, but he doesn't like the mining of it. He wants it to be 100% carbon neutral. But remember, guys, the reason this is 100% carbon neutral is because they buy carbon offset credits. It's like going behind the scenes to buy credits, so they aren't technically completely carbon neutral. It is still burning energy that's not clean, okay? You always got to think about the little details. The devil's in the details. They go in to explain why he wouldn't join Riot, why he wouldn't join others. But one I think that he could potentially join. If he's going to join Gryphon, well, hey, there's just as much of an argument that he could join CleanSpark. They're very heavily focused on solar, microgrid, working towards 100% clean energy. But, well, yes, Gryphon technically is 100% carbon neutral because of buying carbon offset credits. I mean, any of these other companies could do the same thing and they'd be 100% carbon neutral in theory. Is it possible that he decides to be a board member with Gryphon Digital after the merger? Sure, it's absolutely possible. Is it likely? No. Is there any real evidence that points to he is going to join? No, I don't think so. I will leave a link below, though, if you guys want to really read through the whole article. A lot of it is just fluff and just kind of talks about energy usage, that kind of thing. Remember, they haven't even merged yet. They still got to get through that bump in the road where it's probably going to merge. There's going to be a sell-off, typical of a merger. But they basically say that Gryphon and Digital, once the merger is complete, will be the only entity that meets his standards in the regard of clean energy, no carbon footprint, or a negative carbon footprint. But remember, it's all because of carbon offset credits. And they also say that he will choose Gryphon because Rob Chang speaks highly of Elon Musk. I mean, that's not evidence, okay? This article, I mean, sorry to say, but it's like no real evidence here that I can find. Besides that, it's the most clean energy one, or they're working towards being the most clean energy. They did just acquire 600 miners, and then you have any that acquired 60,000, or they're working on their acquisition of 60,000. So, I mean, they aren't even, like, necessarily mining a whole ton yet. They're just getting started. Oh, they also bring up the Crypto Climate Accord here, and Dan Tolhurst, who's the founder and president of Gryphon Digital Mining. So if you want to look into Crypto Climate Accord, I actually talk about that on another one of my videos, and I'll leave a link down below if you want to get the details on that. I'm not going to really go too much into that one here. But they basically say that the Crypto Climate Accord was formed as a result of Elon Musk's criticism of mining. So they're saying this is a noteworthy reason that Gryphon could have Elon on the board. You know, that the fact that Dan created a response and initiated an action that specifically addresses Elon's criticism. Okay. And then they also go over the fact that they, Gryphon Digital tweeted to Elon that they're 100% hydropowered, building a hosting solution that will offer up to 30 gigawatts of wind power for crypto mining, and that they'd be happy to join the council since they're 100% ESG committed. And ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance. And then basically they speculate that this is significant, that it could be a way of signaling Elon Musk and trying to have him join in the conversation and making connections with these folks, with Rob Chang, Brittany Kaiser, and Dan Tolhurst. Even they mentioned themselves, the tweet was months ago, and while this may be true, Rob Chang actually follows Elon Musk on Twitter. Okay, big deal. But they say that no CEO of any other Bitcoin miner follows Elon on Twitter. I mean, okay. And then even right here he says, who would Elon Musk want to partner with? The countless other smaller and or less ambitious Bitcoin miners? Well, yes, Gryphon is definitely an ambitious Bitcoin miner. When you're talking about smaller miners, Gryphon is a pretty small miner. Okay, I mean, right now as it stands, they're not mining all that much. Okay, now they do have their first batch of S19J Pros, but out of this whole batch, it was 600, an order of 7,200 to be deployed throughout the year in batches of 600. So far they have their first batch. If you want to talk about a small Bitcoin miner, Gryphon is definitely a small Bitcoin miner. You know, mind you, once they merge with Any and all the acquisitions Any is doing, the 60,000, with the right but not the obligation to purchase 200,000 Bitcoin miners total, yes, now they do have huge ambitions, and I agree with that statement. But to say that there's smaller Bitcoin miners, you're basically picking hairs. Gryphon is a small Bitcoin miner. You know, whether you like to agree or not, they do have a great team in my opinion. You know, I have a lot of faith in this guy. Whether or not they're Elon Musk and him are best friends, you know, that's to be debated. I don't really think there's any real connection there. Sure, I mean, is it possible that Elon could join? Yes, but is it possible he could join CleanSpark? Sure. Is it possible he could join any other Bitcoin miner? Yes, you know, but is he gonna join any? Probably not. You know, it's very possible he won't join any Bitcoin miners. You know, I'm definitely bullish on Gryphon long term. It's an opinion, okay? They even have a long position. So, you know, if they wanted to, they could have played their options right now on the huge run-up. They could have sold their shares. I mean, who knows what this person did. They say that it's going to come up to $24 by the end of October. I mean, we're talking about in a month from now. $72 by June 22. I think if the merger is announced and it happens, I think there's going to be a little sell-off. You know, typical of a merge. There's going to be a run-up beforehand. I don't think it's coming up to 24. Could it run up to 10? Sure. Could it run up to maybe 15? Of course. And yeah, you know, if Elon did join the board, yeah, you know, 24 overnight could potentially happen. But is it likely that he's going to join? I mean, is there any real evidence? Did he say anything specifically? No. Miscalculated the market cap by a factor of 5. And as I like to always do, looking at the chart, this was from one of my last videos here. We're going to zoom just a little bit. And you see we had that run up. I put this as the support level because we did have a nice pop back in the beginning of August, and then it dumped. It hung out, consolidated, came back up, kind of bounced around that resistance, and where we are at now, actually, it's just trading in this channel. Had a huge run up on September 2nd. Very nice run up there. I didn't get in by then. You know, we still haven't filled this gap. It looked like it tried. It didn't quite do it. We had that article. Here's the article. Here's the huge run up we literally just had. Very nice little run up. And I think it will probably cool back down a little bit once people realize that this was really just an opinion piece. Okay. We have a ways to go though. I'm still bullish on this thing. And as it drops, I will be loading up on calls. You know, we are approaching overbought. It hit overbought, quickly bounced back. People are quick to take profits. This is a small cap. You know, be careful though out there, guys. Don't get hyped into something. Don't get FOMO. That's the first thing that's going to take your money. Getting FOMO, you got to look into the whole thing, know the whole story. Don't just read the headline, okay? Really important. Don't just read a headline. People time and time again, they're so quick. Oh, I read this headline. I need to go buy right now. I don't have time to wait. No, patience in the market pays off in terms of buying and in terms of selling on both ends of the spectrum, okay? Being patient and knowing when to get in, knowing when to get out, always having a plan. Don't let things change just based on some speculation. I mean, that being said though, can speculation make you some money? Of course it can. And it made me some money today. Alright everyone, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you got something useful out of it, and it explained to you why we had that nice run up. It did pull back a little bit. I'm excited for the future. I honestly don't think Elon will be joining the board. I could be wrong, but it is just an opinion piece. So in the end, you got to take it for what it is. And I got out, took my profits. We'll see what happens later. Thanks again, guys. See you on the next one.